Happy New Year and hello. I just wanted to make this video because the start of the year is an excellent occasion to make some plans on how you want your year. Oops, almost failed. How you want your year to be. So here it is. We will be using New Year's resolutions, although not quite exactly. I'm taking a quick stroll while making this, so I hope the leaves don't bother you too much. So usually when referring to New Year's resolutions, we are talking about goals that we can achieve in a certain amount of time, and they usually don't work out that well. If you just say, oh, I'm gonna lose X amount of weight this year, it's very easy to just don't do it. You may have the motivation to do it the first month where you're eating right, you're doing some exercise, but that motivation usually falls off, and then you're just in a state where you feel like a failure, like, oh, I had this simple goal that I could do, but I couldn't. The way that I want you to think about these types of resolutions that we're gonna make in this video is just like a guiding star type of resolution, like something very flexible, something that it's showing you towards the goal, but it's not exactly the goal. So what I mean by this is, if we had the resolution, I'm gonna lose X amount of weight, instead of that, we could change it to, I'm gonna be active physically more this year, right? So if you're going to be very active, you are obviously going to lose weight. Yeah, but it won't matter if one day you just take a stroll, like me, for example, now. If you take a stroll for 5 minutes, and the next day maybe 15 minutes, and the next day you only take a stroll of 1 minute, all of those actions are actually taking steps towards the goal that you are giving yourself, like losing weight. So again, a super clear example. If I wanted to reach that house there, I'm not going to make my goal like, oh, every day I will advance like 10 meters. Now, as long as I advance one step towards the goal, that's enough. We're going to be talking about game development. So in our case, the goals are more targeted towards that, leveling up our skills. And that will mean that we need to be very careful whenever we are deciding those resolutions, those goals, right? To keep them flexible, to keep them very achievable. So I have some tips for you, right? Which are kind of my goal resolutions or my New Year's resolutions for this year. So why not share them with you? They might be useful, or at least they might give you an idea on how to deal with this. So the first resolution I will recommend is to keep updated, stay informed on everything that's happening on the industry. Now, this doesn't mean that you should spend like an hour just searching for news. If you want to work in the video games industry, you might as well know the state of it, and it becomes easier to gauge the interest of the players by the new releases. You can see the new releases, which ones are hits, which are not, and you can start to see some trends. Now, just take in consideration that if you see many shooter games, like, it's not the right call to start making shooter games. You probably just miss the right timing, right? But that's one thing. The other thing, if you're working with a tool to create these video games, well, you might also want to keep up with the news on that tool. If you're using Unreal like we are, every day there are new projects, there are new features, and it will be a good idea to just be sure to stay in the loop. How you can stay in the loop? Well, you can subscribe to newsletters, you can subscribe to channels that talk about it. You can also join some Discord servers and also check the forums for the most up-to-date news in the case of Unreal. The second resolution is, well, play more games. We started as gamers. It's usually how you enter this industry. And it's very common that after working on games, you start spending less time playing games. And that's not good. That's really not good. It has happened to me before. And you start losing the passion for making games. So my recommendation would be either you start playing games by yourself or with friends, make some time for that, treat it as part of your job, and don't get too caught up with trying to analyze the games you're playing. That will also take the fun out of it. Yeah, if you want to finish a game and you can't, that has also happened to me before. What I did is just take a small journal, write down what you did in that play session and what you need to do next. And after that, you can also use the same journal to write some insights you have learned about either game design or some cool mechanic you saw. Yeah, you will definitely analyze it a little bit, but try to make it fun for you. Prioritize the fun aspect of playing games. The third resolution would be to consume more educational content. And I'm not saying that, you should watch 1 hour tutorials every day or every week or something like that. We want to keep our goals very flexible. So as long as you watched a video or read an article that was new to you, that taught you something, you can find those in LinkedIn, you can find those in YouTube. There are a lot of places actually where you can find some really nice educational content. Some people also use X or Blue Sky, I believe is the new trending thing right now. But yeah, just be exposed just by starting looking for this type of content. You will be on the path of staying up to date because, if you're using Unreal, they're releasing features like crazy. And it's a good idea to be at least knowledgeable of the existence of it. You don't need to master everything, but learning stuff outside your expertise also gives you a lot of flexibility and a lot of insight on the overall game development process. Also, you can check out our courses, and we also offer coaching. The fourth resolution that I would like to recommend is to find like-minded people. This is something that was difficult for me at first. I'm used to just being in my cave, programming, working, and just going out to have fun or just to see the sun. And that's not good. Usually, game development is a team-based career, and if you want to do great things in a short amount of time, you really need a team. You can make it by yourself. There are success stories of a solo game developer, but it's a good idea to also have some friends that share the same passion. And to do that, search your local community. The case of Unreal, there are Unreal chapters in each city, I mean, at least right now I'm leading the Lima one, and there are a lot of cities that have every 2 months, maybe every 3 months, like a gathering where they can share share their experience, and you can make new contacts and do some networking, maybe get involved in some projects or get hired. So yeah, it's very useful to do. Also, you can also do the online route. I mean, I think it would be easier to start, which means start getting more active on Discord or in the forums, start building some good relationships, start getting some friends. It's not easy, I know, but it's just about putting the effort in it, right? And being around like-minded people will actually get you a long way towards the goals, right? If you want to make a game and you're around people that don't really want to make a game, it will hold you back. It sounds very logical and easy to understand, but it's something we can sometimes ignore. Also, look for events around the world if you can travel, if you have the means to, or they could be near you. For example, Unreal Fest happens almost every year, I believe. Right now, every year it has happened. So, yeah, and it's really nice. I have been there, met great people, also met the people that made the engine, all those people that you see on the showcases. You can also, if you are not using a real engine and you are just making games, well, GDC is a good idea. There are similar conferences around the world. In South America, there are also game expos that you can find developers there, not only just gamers. So yeah, look around. There is a whole world with a lot of people that really like the same stuff that you do, and being around them actually gives you a very good boost to keep doing what you want to do. The last resolution that I want to share is to make more games, and it's the most difficult part actually, but just take it slowly and also make it manageable. Don't make your scope be too big. You just want to make games, right? And the only way to get better at something is to practice that. Practice is the matter of all skills. And if you're not making games, then I think you will be in a lot of trouble whenever you are part of a team and actually want to put your skills to use. And you don't really need to work on a full-fledged game. You can do something very small. You can also do some case studies, like just focusing on something, maybe only just lighting, or rendering, or a mechanic, something specific, right? Oh, almost fell there. So yeah, make some games, be creative with them. Some of the best or the greatest or most innovative games have come out of small ideas, and for this, like, game jams are like the perfect storm to do something like that. Small projects that have a very limited deadline, so you can use them or not. What's important is just to start making them, and don't just create like a huge idea at the start. You want to be able to finish them. So that's it. That's all I had to say. I can probably call this video talking about game development and running out of air while taking a little hike. So I hope you take some ideas of what I've been talking about, set your own goals, reach out to new people, and especially have fun making games. Have a great year, and I'll see you in the next video.